What's up, guys? ONLYUSEmeBLADE, and this is a little something different. I got a friend of mine. Go ahead and introduce yourself, there, buddy.
What's up, Blade? It's Fwiz, Respawn Community Manager, focusing on Directors Program and the YouTube side of stuff. And people are freaking out because I've been doing a lot of dual comms with our directors lately. It's part of my initiative to get more involved with our program. So hopefully your subscribers don't mind me doing this because, geez, man, I know I got a little backlash when they're like, "Come on, man, how many dualies is this guy gonna do?"
No, but then I asked you though. Remember?
Yeah, totally. And I'm like, motherfuckers, this is not mandatory. I'm just trying to get involved. And if you want to do a duel, here I am. And yeah, so
We call it Akimbo commentaries.
okay, I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. I see what you did there.
But basically, the reason why I want to do the Akimbo con with him is because I love you, no homo, for having a part of making this competitive playlist.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, man. I certainly something we worked for a couple years. I'd say, Hastro and I were really a driving force behind it. We started in a Call of Duty 4 with our initiative to reach out to developers in Infinity Ward. They made a lot of empty promises, not only to just our competitive community, but I think to a lot of other communities as well that they did not fulfill on. And Treyarch, they came to an MLG event and we got to sit down with David Vonderhaar and they made it happen. So I appreciate it because I'm forever grateful that, Call of Duty finally made good on its word. And I thought it was something people would enjoy. Granted, competitive is like 1% of the community.
Well,
But
here's the thing. I'm not a competitive player. Like I've never like gone to any kind of tournaments or anything like that. So what I get out of it is a much different thing. The thing I love is that it's an equalizer. It's like I think this is a skill equalizer, which like Call of Duty's been lacking something that will kind of try to equalize the skill between the players. I mean, obviously the connection is always going to be a situation, but we can deal with that. And people that so-called strategically camp or whatever, like that's part of Call of Duty. That's part of every first-person shooter. So besides the lag and besides camping, which is in every first person shooter,
yeah.
all the BS is taken out when you do this competitive stuff, and I love it.
Yeah, I think that's what people need to realize. The counter argument to that is that it's watered down. Why can't you play with it? And it's not the capability. I mean, I can play. All the other competitive players certainly can do well and perform well in public matches. But the watered down, and I think you said it best, takes out a lot of the nonsense in the game. I think the element of having kill streaks and different stuff like that is fun, and it should be in here. It's awesome for the public matches. But you need to have a playlist that gets down to the point where it's just natural gun skill, it's natural strategy, and this is the first playlist, and guns aren't,
I just got grizzed on.
Yeah, you did, dude. You certainly got the dude right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's well balanced out in this playlist, and I'm looking forward to future Call of Duties of working on more balance, whether it's kill streaks, whether it's perks, weapons, because there's not enough balance.
I think all that stuff is that's part of Call of Duty. Like I'm not putting down anybody that wants to go into a public match and shit on bad players. Like that's part of what makes Call of Duty fun. But at the same time, that gets old real quickly. That is not something that you can do day in day out. I think a lot of people lost interest in Call of Duty because like that guy just ran in front of me. Did you see that?
Yeah, you failed on that tomahawk though, bro.
I know. What I got a question. Why no Warlord?
Why no Warlord? Because of how many grenades you get and stuns.
Oh, okay.
That becomes too much of a nonsense. It was.
He got me again.
Yeah, he did, dude. Jeez, man.
Dude, I always have one person in a match that just has my number. But also, if you guys are like when you guys see this final score or whatever, in competitive it's 4v4, and obviously no kill streaks and stuff like that. So like if you were to get 10 kills in a search game, then it'd be the equivalent of getting 15 kills in a regular search game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If not more. I mean, because also the talent that you're playing against in competitive too is, it's a much higher level for the most part, just because that's where players are they're trying to kind of fine tune their skill set and perfect it. Yeah. Oh, look at that. 500 fucking thumbs up coming for Seed Anners is online. I can promise you that.
That's why I picked this game.
Yeah. Oh, well executed, good sir. Well executed.
Yeah, but there's actually a way better game where I went 20-0, but no one signed on, so I decided.
Yeah, Seed Anners didn't pop on Xbox Live, so that video is pretty much trash. You can just delete that as hard drive space wasted.
Yeah, but like a lot of times, like I do this, and it's a bad habit, but every time I get killed in Call of Duty, I watch the kill cam, and I try to do like this psychoanalysis of why I got killed, and like really look into it. And you don't really have to do that in this game because most of the time you know why you got killed, and it's sit down. I got him.
Yeah, it
Um,
was.
but you know what I mean? So like a lot of times you'll watch kill cam and be like, oh, dude had second chance or dude had this or whatever. But if you're not like into the competitive scene, this playlist is extremely fun just for the skill equalizing out of it. I'm having a blast. It actually brought me back into Call of Duty Black
Same
Ops.
here, man. I was getting fed up with public matches on Call of Duty, dude. I couldn't take it anymore because of the bullshit
Yeah.
that was going down. I think a lot of us are burned out on Call of Duty, the titles as it is, because we've been playing them for a while. The avid Call of Duty fans, and
Yeah.
this was what I know I personally need. And I think if more people give it a shot and jump into the competitive playlist instead of dogging on it or jumping to conclusions, they would enjoy it. Now,
Well,
granted,
a lot of people were complaining that with the competitive playlist that they're like, well, they should have fixed the game, and it's just like it's not that simple, and it's something that like the Halo has, and just because they give us this doesn't mean that they're like. It's not like they have the entire Treyarch team working on this and they completely forgoed the other stuff that people are
yeah.
complaining about. I'll put some extra footage in, so we'll continue this
Nice,
rompage.
nice. Yeah, no, the other thing I hear people too is the FAMAS and stuff, and I don't think that what that is everyone realizes that is the best gun to use. So in the competitive playlist, when it's all about, like you said, equalizers, I don't even like using the FAMAS, but when I'm in that competitive playlist, I have to use it because it is the best gun to use. Other people are going to
Yeah.
be using it, so that in turn falls on an issue with Treyarch that they'll have to figure out weapon balancing for the next game. Because you can only tweak guns so much. They're going to have to really just kind of remap
Well,
the
I mean,
process.
in COD 4, it wasn't unheard. Like when you play, if you're in a competitive, not a competitive place, but if a competitive search and story lobby, people are using the M16 and MP5. It's just how it works. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Obviously World at War is the MP40, and that was it. And so there's certain guns that are the best guns. So when you take competitive people, they're going to use the best guns because if they don't, they're not going to lose. They're not going to try to do something like I'm doing, where I'm just running around knifing only. But if everyone's using the best setup, then the better player should win. That's the
Right,
base.
and that's the $1 million point. That's why you do see a lot of the same setups, and what we can hope from that is that they take notice of, hey, this is the most fine-tuned class that you can have as far as balance goes, and then they work to incorporate other guns because most of the Call of Duties you're still seeing this kind of common issue. Like Call of Duty 4, you had the MP5, the M16, and the AK-47, and that was it. I mean,
Yeah.
surely you had the sniper rifles that came in and stuff, but for the most part, those were your class sets, and there needs to be more of a balance. Now, that's a hard thing to do. I mean, it really is hard to balance weapons.
I personally don't have an issue with if you have a whole bunch of really good players and they figure out what the best setup is to do well. Like I remember Treyarch said something that they didn't want it to be where they wanted to add variety in all the stuff, but it's just like if you have the best setup and everyone kind of uses that. Like I know if I go against a bunch of people like in competitive plays, it's FAMAS, lightweight, sleight of hand ninja. I know if I go against a full good player squad doing that, I'm not gonna necessarily do well with my knifing, but I still try.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, and that's your thing, and that's what makes you obviously a beast because
Oh,
it takes balls, dude. I don't even know how you do it because now you're really fucking good at doing that, and I would have gone nuts. First of all, I can't even knife quick enough when I'm using my damn gun playing. I lose that battle up close every single time because I'm
yeah.
just not reactive enough. And you go up in search and destroy games and stomp kids out with knives and tomahawks. That will forever blow my mind.
Dude, I look at it like this, like if it's something that you gotta think that since that's all I do and I stick with it, like a lot of people like they'll see me in a lobby, they'll try to do knife only, whatever, but then they'll be like, screw this, I'm done with it. They'll just put it down. But like I do it, I've been doing it. I probably have like a good 30 or 35 prestiges and knife only throughout all the Call of Duties, so it's just like I'm like more accustomed to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you got it down, man. No
Got
doubt
it
about
down.
it. No
Well,
doubt.
guys, obviously, Fwiz's channel is going to be there. You guys should see him all over Respawn anyway. So,
Yeah, I don't get to post a lot to my channel, but I'm gonna try to do more stuff with it. But a lot of my content that I end up delivering goes on to Respawn or Optic Nation. But I'm gonna get that baby moving with some commentaries and bringing the noise.
All right. Sounds good. All right, guys. Peace.